Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another match preview. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the likes and make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. And luckily for Chelsea, we don't have to wait too long to put Saturday's defeat to Brentford right. Got Blackburn in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday night. A chance to progress to the quarterfinals of a competition that I think it's actually really important for us this year. Tipped us to win it at the start of the season. So hopefully we can obviously get a confidence-boosting win, put a few things right, maybe see a debut for Petrovic in goal, see a few of the fringe players featuring, and just try and get a confidence-boosting win after the defeat to Brentford. But we're going to go through a lot of things, the home form in general, Pochettino, the game itself, etc. Loads to dive into. Nina, thanks for coming as always. How are you feeling heading into this one? Obviously, it's good that we don't have to sit on this game for too long. A change of pace in the Carabao Cup, a team that we should be beating in Blackburn, but we said that about a number of teams this season. How are you feeling heading into this one?
Yeah, good. I feel like we get a little bit of time out because I think the Premier League has been a struggle in general. Of course, we saw that. It was a refreshing game when we played Brighton. We went into that game thinking that we don't really have a big chance, but we won and we kept a clean sheet. So it really kind of boosted our confidence then. And yeah, it happened in the midst of, well, after a few defeats and stuff. So it was nice to kind of just have that win. We knocked out a serious opponent in Brighton, gave us a little bit of confidence moving forward. And then actually we saw that, we went on a bit of an unbeaten run there. Yeah, it was cut short, but still was nice to see that it kicked off a little bit of a more positive sort of streak. And yeah, now that we have gone back to losing and being defeated, it's nice to just sort of have this game as a bit of a distraction. It's a bit of a motivation as well, because like you said, I'd like us to actually do well in this cup and take it seriously, get something out of it. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be honest.
I mean, there's no reasons not to take this cup seriously. We're not playing for anything else. We're not going to win the league. FA Cup, who knows? So there's no excuse not to go strong. We're playing once a week. We don't even play this weekend. We play Monday. So there's no excuses not to go with a reasonably strong lineup, considering we've got a number of days after this game to recover from it. And yeah, look, we need silverware as quickly as possible. We haven't won a domestic trophy, I don't think, since 2017 FA Cup final when we beat United 1-0. So we need to get one of those in the cabinet ASAP. And this represents a very good opportunity. Yes, people mock the trophy because it's not viewed in that way. But Man City won it 4 times in a row. Man United won it last year. Newcastle got to the final. Like, the big Premier League teams do get to the latter stage and they do take it seriously. I mean, how important is this trophy for you this year? I mean, of course, you can say, oh, it's just a Carabao Cup or whatever. But when we're not really going for anything else, I think it's really, really important in terms of getting a trophy, in terms of Pochettino winning a trophy as a manager, and in terms of this group winning together and like proving that, we can actually win something.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think if we win a domestic cup, it puts a lot of faith, well, at least a little bit more faith into Pochettino, because right now there's a lot of people doubting him, like whether we like it or not. Unfortunately, that's just reality, because, things are reactionary, and I'm not going to blame the fans that aren't necessarily trusting Pochettino, but still, like, we do need to be patient with him, and it is too early to kind of point a finger. And do you know what? There's just no point of entertaining this whole it's the manager's fault, we need to sack him. Like, that does nothing for us. So yeah, we need to back him. And I think kind of similar thing to what Man United did last season, Eric Ten Hag walking through the door, winning the Carabao Cup, which Manchester United hadn't won, obviously, a trophy in that long. And, we saw, obviously, they had a top 4 finish, and everyone was pretty much placing Man United as a top 3 team this season. So, actually winning a silverware does kind of make you a more serious opponent, or at least, kind of puts you in the good books. And I think, yeah, just for confidence, self-esteem, we have young players, then winning a trophy, I think, really does sort of boost things. It makes things a little bit better for the club, and at least like a bit of a stepping stone for moving forward and hopefully competing for bigger things next season. But like you said, we don't exactly have much going for us. There's no European football. Top 4 seems to be slipping away further and further every single Premier League game. So actually, we need to take this cup really seriously.
Particularly when we've got such a young squad as well, like with players that a lot of players that haven't won a lot or won
Yeah.
anything at all in their careers. Like, it's important to win something at the earliest possible opportunity. And this absolutely gives us that chance. You know, if we win against Blackburn, it's quarterfinals, and there's some big teams going out. One of Man United or Newcastle is going to depart in the next round. One of Arsenal and West Ham's going as well. Like, you know, things do start to open up. So I think we've got every chance in this trophy, but, you know, we've got to take this match seriously. It's going to be tough. Our home form is dreadful. Obviously, we saw changes at the weekend in force. Obviously, Enzo Fernandez and Mudryk missing out. Not sure if they're going to be back or fit for this game yet. But in terms of kind of the lineup changes, etc., I think changes will be made. I imagine. I mean, first of all, do you think we should be making a lot of changes? Like, do you think a lot of changes are necessary? I mean, it's the cup, so there probably will be. It's lower level opposition, but do you think that's the right way of going about it? I mean, I wouldn't make wholesale changes. I'd maybe only change maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I also agree that chopping and changing isn't really the right strategy right now. And actually, if you look at it, we've pretty much been playing with the same group of players, bar a few injuries in our squad since the start of the season. And, you know, we sort of questioned why Colwill was starting at left back. And then when he eventually was doing better, we kind of just, you know, went with it. And it's like Pochettino is continuously playing these group of players to actually get them playing better football, like we saw in the last sort of bar Brentford, before that, you know, Arsenal, and then who else did we play?
Fulham and Burnley.
Fulham and Burnley, yeah. See, look, one defeat, Charlie, and I've forgotten all the games that we've won. Anyways, so yeah, actually, it's getting these group of players, you know, playing, getting used to each other. We're seeing some more patterns of play, like once they have gotten used to, you know, being on the pitch together. And there aren't too many changes, because last season we saw that too many changes didn't really get us anywhere. It made everything so disjointed. There was no coordination on the pitch. And actually, I like that Pochettino is sort of undoing that and trying the same group of players. But, you know, sort of the changes that he made didn't quite make sense. Like why Disasi started at right back as opposed to Gusto. I don't see any excuse that Disasi should be starting at right back against Blackburn. You know, Gusto should be straight back in there. I get the Reece James, but, you know, no player over Malo Gusto should be taking that right back position if Reece James is not on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I hope he doesn't make too many changes, but at the same time saying that, I think Ugachuk will probably start. I mean, we might even see some of the even younger players like Washington and stuff that came on for a little bit. Maybe they might get some playing time. You mentioned Petrovic. I think that's a perfect opportunity to see a little bit of him, because obviously Sanchez has been starting, but we know that we have bought this keeper that supposedly got a lot of talent himself, so would be good to see. But on the most part, it's a must-win game, and unfortunately we don't have that much self-esteem right now to be saying, yeah, make some absolutely crazy changes, you know.
No, I agree. I think, you know, whether Bro is available or not, I probably wouldn't start him. He's not played much football. I probably would persist with Jackson. It's a good opportunity for him to try and boost his confidence, get a goal, or have an important game. If Mudryk's fit, I think he plays. Sterling, for me, would be one that misses out. Continue playing with Wake. He needs minutes. He needs some sort of consistency. At the back, I would bring Badiashile in for his first start of the season. If we're not going to see him,
he's fit now, isn't he?
Yeah. When are we going to see him? Like this is a good game to do that. You probably give Silva a rest. I think you continue with Cucurella at left back. And I think the goalkeeper is a perfect opportunity to see Petrovic, because if we don't see him in this game, barring an injury to Sanchez, when are we ever going to see him? So, like, I think this is the perfect chance to do it. By all accounts, he's a good goalkeeper. I mean, I'd never heard of the guy before we signed him, but you know, you've got to give him an opportunity to do something. So I think this would be the perfect game to do that. Maybe you see Ian Martson play as well. I know he was pathetic for the second goal. He just got bodied out of the way. But he's a talented boy. And this is the sort of game you would probably expect to see him in. So, I mean, look, Enzo probably comes back in. I'll probably rest Caicedo. Look, these aren't bad options that we've got. But again, you don't want to make loads and loads of changes, because it's a team that, you know, hasn't played an awful lot of football together. So I don't think there's a problem with making changes, but at the same time, you don't want to make too many so that you completely ruin sort of, you know, the momentum, and kind of the chemistry, obviously, between the team. But I think Petrovic is an absolute must. He has to play. And then the rest of it for me is not too much of an issue. Really, make a few changes here and there. We should have more than enough to win. But what are your thoughts on Jackson, by the way? Obviously, you know, he needs confidence, he needs goals. I've seen a lot of criticism come his way following Saturday. Yes, he wasn't good enough. Absolutely agreed. I think The work that he does outside the box is actually decent. Hold up play, link up play on the half turn, etc. But in the box, he's not great, which is not ideal for a striker. He's poor in the air. But what I would say is that, like, yes, he's not been good enough. But I would caveat that by saying that he was never meant to be the first choice striker this season. We signed him as a development player, as someone that he can improve and potentially be a star man for Chelsea in years to come. We didn't sign a main striker in the summer. We should have done. Yes, the market was poor. Nkunku's injury didn't help in terms of, obviously, he probably could have played a chunk of minutes at 9. But I think we have to stick with Jackson in terms of getting behind him, supporting him, because until January, like, we're kind of stuck. We're stuck with him and Broja, and yes, Nkunku, when he gets back fit, will fill in minutes there. But I mean, where do you stand with Jackson? Because I understand the criticism, but at the same time, I'm thinking the guy's been here 3 months and he wasn't supposed to be leading the line anyway. He's played less than 60 games of professional football. So what on the one hand, what are we really expecting?
Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, strikers at Chelsea are always going to be under that extra bit of scrutiny. And considering, like, we need goals and we're desperate, we don't have players that can score goals, of course that is extra pressure on his shoulders. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm also all for it. Like, there is no need to criticize him this early on. I think, yeah, he had like a couple bad games now, and actually we saw that he was a bit more isolated than he usually is. I think Jackson's been very good, and maybe, yeah, that is because Nkunku played with him in pre-season, and actually, like, he was very involved in like build up, and he came from deep, and he linked up with these players to work his way up to the box. And actually now, the last couple games, he's felt a bit like sort of just there. And against Arsenal, it kind of looked like we were 10 men down. I mean, Jackson didn't really get many touches, didn't really manage to do anything. But at the end of the day, I get that, it's a lack of experience and all of that stuff. But everyone kind of collectively agreed in pre-season after what we saw that, Jackson should be number 1. And I'm pretty sure, Charlie, I don't know if you remember, there was loads of people that said, don't bring in another striker right now. We don't need anyone to compete with Jackson, because people were so ready to just, leave Jackson there and he'd be like scoring goals. And yeah, that's just reactionary stuff from pre-season. Obviously, the Premier League is very different, and he's coming into obviously a lot more of an intense sort of atmosphere. Expectations are bigger, etc. But we know the potential is there. But that's the key word there. It's potential. He's not coming off the back of 4 seasons where he's bashing in 20 plus goals. No, we brought him from a good half season, from Spain. And actually, we need to accept that if you're going to back that young player, you also do need to give him time. But at the end of the day, we also do find ourselves in a moment where we can't really be that patient, because goals aren't coming from anywhere. And yeah, unfortunately, because nobody's finishing our chances, we're always going to look at that. Yeah, well, Jackson, you're the striker. You should be putting those chances away. But yeah, I also do think our fan base has become a little bit too reactionary. People were praising him when he scored his chance against Brighton, and then suddenly, he's MIA 2 games in a row, and he's being thrown under the bus. So I don't agree with it, but I also am frustrated. It's just a bit of a crap situation, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal, but at the same time, I think that obviously I would have preferred us to sign the main striker in the summer, but the market, excuse me, the market wasn't great, so I'd rather us take a bit. And obviously, I think the Nkunku injury has had a massive impact. I think he would have played a chunk of minutes at number 9 this season. But there's no point making excuses. We are where we're at. He needs to improve. He needs to improve fast. We need to improve as a team. We need to find a way of becoming more clinical, of putting our chances away, of breaking teams down, etc., etc. And Pochettino is going to have to try and come up with some sort of solution as to how to solve this problem. It's not just a him problem, but it's been a problem for multiple managers before. But he has got previous at Tottenham and at PSG, struggling to break down low blocks, struggling to break down teams, particularly when the games are tight and the opposition aren't coming out to play much. So Blackburn will do something similar to what Brentford did. They'll sit deep. Yes, the quality of opposition is not as good, but they'll make it difficult for us. And it's going to be up to us to break them down and try and find some sort of a solution. But it's a must-win game. I feel like I've been saying that for like a lot of games now, but it is
every game.
Like, you can't imagine what the reaction would be like if we were to lose this game. No. I do believe that we will win this game. I'm not saying it'll be easy. I think it'll be tight. Both the previous games have been tight. 2-1 to Wimbledon, and obviously 1-0 against Brighton last time out. I think there'll only be the odd goal in it, but I think we've got more than enough to get the job done and try and boost that confidence heading into that Spurs game. You don't want to head into the Spurs game on the back of being dumped out the cup by a Championship side and losing to Brentford for the third year in a row at Stamford Bridge. But I'm confident we'll win. Score prediction for myself, I think we probably win. I think we win 2-0 on Wednesday night in the cup. But I mean, how are you viewing it? I mean, to me, I don't care how we perform, just win. I think it'll be close, but I'll go 2-0. What are you thinking?
I'd say just judging by the quality of opposition, I'd probably be also a little bit more optimistic. I can imagine though a situation where maybe a stupid mistake lets us down and we concede a goal or something like that. So I'll go for a 2-1. Was that the result against Wimbledon? Is that how?
Yeah, that was the result against Wimbledon, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say 2-0, but something inside me is telling me that we might make a mistake. But you know what? I'm going to be optimistic, Charlie, and stick with your prediction. Go 2-0, Chelsea.
We'll go 2-0. That's what happens. As long as we win, I don't really care. But let's just try not to make any individual mistakes that give goals away, because we seem to have a bad habit of doing that at the moment. But yeah, guys, we're going to round out the preview there. Nina, where can the people find you?
So Nina AA_HR on Instagram, guys, and my channel is Nina's Chelsea Corner. So check out my content there. I'm on the road to 3,000 subscribers. So if you guys could subscribe, check out my videos, that would be very, very appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, make sure you do that. Channel will be tagged in the titles. Just click on there, go and subscribe to Nina, show her some love, support her. Guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, score predictions, etc., all that stuff. And I'll catch you again in another video soon.